Okay, let's see. Time to restart. Let's talk about the key or the quiz first. We'll do that. I've just uploaded the key for the quiz to the class website, and it's in the keys folder. So this is the quiz key. We'll take a quick look at that. First of all, if you see the letters DJ on your exam next to an answer, what it means is the answer is not right, but I'm giving you full credit for it, because the problem is in a previous part of the problem where you made a mistake, but if we accept that a previous mistake is correct, then the subsequent answer is correct as well. That applies to this situation here. This could be wrong, the variance could be wrong, but if you took the square root of that and called that the standard deviation, it's the wrong answer, but it's done the right way. Okay? So generally, when I can identify one thing is wrong, but the next step is right, I'm willing to give you credit for that. All right, and problem number 1, I gave you, well, what I did is I put a little number above all these values to indicate what was the smallest. So 15.7 was the smallest, and then I found the next smallest and put a 2 above it, and so forth. There are a total of 9 values. So the rule for finding the median would be take n, add 1 to it, and divide by 2. So the 5th value in this list, 19.9, is in fact the median. All right, for B, if I do the same sort of thing, 23.2 is the smallest, the next one is 26.4, there's a total of 10 values. If I take n and divide it by 2, I get 5. So I'm going to take the 5th value and the 6th values, add them together and divide by 2, and I get 28.95. For problem number 2, to find the mean, you add all these numbers together. They don't have to be in any order. And you divide by the number of values you have, in which case you get 10.3. The variance, which is represented by the letter S with an exponent of 2, is computed by taking each one of these values and subtracting it from the mean I've just computed, and then squaring those differences, adding those results all together, and dividing by 7 minus 1. That turns out to be 8.7. If I take the square root of that, I get 1.367, and so forth. I've listed the results here to 3 significant figures because that's the same number of significant figures in my data. Yes?
We were allowed to use Excel on this, right?
Yes?
Okay. Do we have to write out that whole answer?
Well, okay. Did I take any credit off?
No.
Okay. This is what I said. Suppose you could end up with really bizarre answers up here. But if you've outlined this, at least you're telling me you know what you're doing, at least a little bit. If I get bizarre answers here, I don't know, I'll give you a bizarre number of points off. I mean, you see, the thing is, what I'm trying to do, first of all, the way I provide a key is so people understand what's going on. You know, I didn't take off any points if someone just gave me the right answers. You know, I always prefer to see something along the line, something like this, or at a minimum, I did this in Excel and I used this function. Okay. As opposed to, I was looking at my neighbor. And that's what they got. That's usually considered a no-no. Yes?
So some of those values only have 2 significant figures.
Well, but some of them have 3.
Right.
You can give me 2.5 significant figures
But, well, like, in chemistry, they tell us to go with the
Well, the least.
So, should we be going with the most in this class?
Either rule is okay. No, I don't want to say it. I want 3.
Okay.
Yeah, the maximum number. You can always put down, if you will, more precision than is warranted. What I'm looking for mostly, you understand the computational aspect, okay? The more scientific aspect, you probably need to get in your chemistry classes, okay? Now, if in the end, this makes a difference in your grade, you come back to me, and I can be persuaded to change the score on this quiz. If I deduct, I sometimes will deduct to have a point. I often do that just to get your attention, okay? If it makes a difference in the long run, I'm willing to talk with you about it. But it's not like it's a big error. I just want to kind of focus you on a way that's, I think, a little better. Other questions on this first page? All right, second page. Here I have a description of electric automobiles sold in the United States in 2011. So the who is electric car models sold in the U.S. That's who the information is about. The variables, one variable would be the model, which is in fact, we can think of it as a categorical variable, but more specifically as an identifier. It uniquely identifies what we're talking about. The manufacturer is a categorical variable. The list price is quantitative, and the units are almost certainly dollars. That's what we talked about in the United States. The maximum power is quantitative, and I indicated that in parentheses. It's in watts. If you go home and you take a look at the top of a light bulb or the box on the light bulb, it tells you watts, which is basically the rate at which it uses energy. In this case, the watts would indicate how much power it can deliver to you at its maximum, under maximum conditions. The range is quantitative and it's in miles. That should be, that would be typically, I don't know what else I would do it. Estimated annual maintenance costs, that's quantitative, probably would be given in terms of dollars. The rating is categorical, or more specifically, it's ordinal. The warranty period is quantitative. It could be years, it could be miles, or it could be, you know, on drivetrains, they say sometimes 5 years, 10,000 miles, something like that.
You can't go categorical, like yearly, monthly, or...
Well, okay, that's the unit. But a unit is not a category.
No, I mean the type. Can it be categorical? Because you don't measure something. You just put it in category.
Well, okay, no. If you looked at a car and it gave you a warranty, it could give you a warranty in terms of years, but it would be 2 years, 5 years. So it is a quantitative variable, and the units are years. Years are really not a category.
So it doesn't matter if you need to measure that, or it is whatever the power.
Well, there might be circumstances where time, or there might be a variable which is categorical, one of whose values was years. This is not the same thing. When you have a warranty, warranties usually say 60 days, maybe for electronics 90 days, all right? So in that case, it would be quantitative. The units would be days, okay? If you buy an automobile, I mean, automobiles usually have both a year or a number of months. It could have a number of months, or it could have mileage. Now, so for a warranty,